As a preliminary matter, this is Dorothy Hertz, Chair of the Contract Review Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipating the agenda are present can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Veronica? Here. Sue?
Here.
Linda?
Here.
John?
Here.
Bert?
Here.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Tamika? Here. Jericho?
Here.
Thank you. Good morning. This is an open meeting of the Contract Review Committee is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 2 of Acts of 2023. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment because we have guests coming in to present today. For this meeting of the Contract Review Committee is conveying hybrid as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. No, some are. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called further. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait till the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in the conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. After on items of public comment, it's not really public comment because we've asked groups to come in to speak with us. The members will have these spoken. The chairs will forward the comment to those members of the public who have joined this meeting. Members of the public who wish to speak may state their names. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call.
I will.
And I am going to make an amendment to the agenda. We are actually striking number 4 because there was no letter sent. There is no discussion. Fair Winds will not be on the agenda today. And we are going to go forward. We don't have everybody else here. And so everybody else has not arrived for the youth behavioral grant recipients. I think we can go ahead and begin a discussion on the reports and move over to 5. So can I get an approval of the agenda as amended?
Is amended.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Linda,
Aye.
Veronica? Aye. Bert?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Sue?
Aye.
Dorothy? Aye. So we can go to, I didn't get any edits from the office on either of these. I got one edit from Sue. Otherwise, I received no edits on these reports. Are there any comments?
Oh goodness, I'm sorry.
No.
What are you looking for? What are you
What are
trying
you
to
looking for?
Up here, test kit.
Oh,
Sorry.
right this way.
Okay.
Okay. You go. So head through.
I'm gonna go down the line. It's easy. Okay, I'll just start up there. John, any comments, edits?
No, none of me.
Okay, thank you. Bert?
No, I'm sweating it out down here with no air conditioning.
We don't even want to hear it.
You don't see the big violins coming out here for you, Bert.
Nope,
You hear that?
not.
No sympathy for us little lawyers, you know?
Linda,
What?
It's a flugelhorn for you.
we're asking if you have any comments on the reports. Thank you. Sue?
Nothing new.
Okay, Veronica?
There are a couple of
Grammar.
grammar or, whatever, but I assume that that'll be put before it's official,
Yes.
put through a scrubbing. And I didn't want to go through those. I do want to comment that, your time and effort put into this is incredible. The research, is, backing everything that we've spent the past couple of months in reviewing, so thank you. I also do appreciate that you went through the process that you described the process that we did in order to come to these conclusions, so recommendations, I should say. So thank you very much.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Welcome. So with the grammar edits, these two report, may I have a motion to approve? Somebody?
So,
No, I can't make the motion. Let me
Okay.
just make the motion.
I move to approve.
Second,
Okay, John,
Aye.
Bert,
aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
Veronica?
aye.
Dorothy, aye. Thank you, guys. So, Jericho, I will go through them with the one last edit and then send them out. And then if we could just get them out to all the organizations and the Board of Selectmen and FinCom, that would be great. Is anybody in for our meeting yet?
No.
Okay.
And I don't know why.
Are they having the same problem?
I have not received any,
We told them, what time did we tell them? 10:15.
10:15.
Do we know who?
Yes, it's Dreamland, because they,
Right.
I saw them actually at this weekend's bananas. They are coming,
Okay.
it's,
ASAP?
ASAP.
Why are they coming?
Today is, they're going over, part of their contract was that they had a meeting with us, so today is the meeting prior to their quarterlies coming in. So we can see how they're progressing with each program. I have,
Horses.
the horses are coming. And Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
So it's very simple.
Would you?
I have all the contracts here in front of me, or all the, what do you call it, non-contracts. I would,
With permission, do you want me to try reaching out? I've got ASAP.
if you do
Office.
ASAP, I would say that there is a possibility, they are up at the school. Let me see.
Oh, that's possible too.
Um, Very sad. I watched a whole group of kids walk down in front of my house with their roses today. As noted for everybody, I am making a phone call to the Dreamland. I know that I spoke with them cordially at the performance this weekend, and they stated they were coming. So
I'm calling Elise Norton. Hi, Elise, it's Veronica from Contract Review Committee. Were you planning on being on our Zoom this morning? Or at? Okay. Right, the previous. Yes, exactly. Just, yes. Are you available to do this? We didn't know if you were at the high school. Oh, I can understand. I can completely understand that. No, we are in a meeting right now and we're ready for you if you can come in now.
Lisa,
what
this is
link-
Dorothy Hertz calling from the
what
Contract
link
Review
should I send
Committee.
The
to?
agenda link. should
Checking
let
to
them in.
see if
Okay.
you will be attending today's
Okay.
meeting. If you could please, there was a Zoom link that was sent to you last week on an agenda. It
Okay.
does work. My phone number is 508-221-3274.
Not a problem.
If you have any questions, please.
We will send
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, thank you.
She doesn't have the link,
Okay.
send it link.
To whom?
She's,
Elise Norton.
yeah, she's a little bit, she's coming in. She needs about 5 minutes. So I'm confused at what
Is she
link I
coming
should
here?
send her. No, she's
She's gonna come in online.
on link, but what link should I be sending?
I would send the agenda that went out. The link is fine on that agenda.
Yeah, I'm sending that right now. She can check her email, she'll be there waiting for her.
Okay. I'll just tell her that it's being emailed to her.
The Elise Norton at Gmail
Yes.
account.
I imagine it's a hard day for her.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. But she is, yeah, she's coming in.
Okay, pretty noisy. I'll do it very quick. Thanks for reminding me.
Hey, Michelle, this is Dorothy Hertz calling from the Contract Review Committee. How are you? Awesome. Okay, fabulous. What time were you invited to attend? 10:30. Awesome. Okay, thank you. We look forward. That's perfect. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. Bye-bye. So that could be a problem. She said they were 10:30. They were, I think.
Yeah, you told everybody 10:30.
I think there was a.
You told me to tell everybody 10:30. Yeah.
Who did we get confirmation back from?
I gotta look, because it's something I did.
Okay.
I know.
I just tried star. Carrie's not there. Oh, you know what? I might remember. But if she's coming in
Carrie.
at 10:30, right?
Yeah,
Oh, Linda,
Carrie.
where do you have to go?
She's gonna.
Linda?
I was on the phone. What do you need from me?
We're just asking what time you have to excuse yourself from our meeting.
Around 11.
Okay, it looks like according to one of the recipients that they were asked to come in at 10:30.
They were.
Oh, they were.
Because we had
Carrie-
additional
'cause he said,
agenda.
told me to tell him
Okay.
10:30, so I'm sorry, I wasn't here for that part.
That's
Carrie
fine.
did say yes, she's coming in. What Marie,
And-
Michelle is trying to think.
I know the Burns, I talked to Mrs. Burns at the, what's her first name? At Pippin this weekend, and she said she was looking forward to being in on the conference, so.
Yeah, so all of
Come in
them.
by Zoom. They don't physically have to come to the trailer.
They're like,
No, they are,
they're
we are waiting for them to come in by Zoom. They were invited to come either way. But I'm just saying that they were referencing who might have said they were coming in.
Are they all coming
Well, they're supposed to, we're hoping.
eventually?
Gary Ray from.
It
Star.
looks like that they were, that it was 10:30 was the invite time in, so we're waiting on them. Can we go to other business for 5 minutes? Okay, is everybody okay if we go to other business? We, for educational purposes, from now on our agendas, we will be posting that any changes in the agenda of on the 48-hour notice has to be put onto the agenda, clearly put onto the agenda, if we want to make changes to it. So Tamika, we're just going to add that to it. There's some wording that I'm going to get from Maureen that we can put onto it.
Not reasonably anticipated within 48 hours.
Right. It has to be put onto the agenda,
Michelle Silverberg coming in.
okay?
Okay.
Just has to be there if we're gonna make if something's gonna come up that we're gonna change.
Oh,
okay?
yeah, I thought that was the original rule to begin with. You couldn't do it within 48
It has to be
hours.
posted onto the agenda itself,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And,
I'll
and the other-
read through it later.
the other thing that we have to add onto the agenda is, as we go through this further down the line, is that when we had discussion of youth behavioral health grants or recipients, grant recipients, we needed to identify who exactly was coming in. Okay, so on anything, we have to be a little bit more,
Do we?
yes, we do, yes. And so, what's happening is I've requested, Maureen is sending everybody on the contract review committee, information on open meeting laws and conflict of interest, so everybody can maybe go through it that maybe hasn't.
That
Done
was also sent out in the fall.
Yes, it was, but I'm just saying that we're sending it back out again. It's gonna be sent back out again. But it has to be a little bit more detailed as to exactly what's happening on the agenda. Okay? So just for that to be,
Got Carrie Ray, Michelle Soderberg, and Laura Gallagher Byron.
Great.
As well.
Okay, so
so we got 3 of them in. Fabulous. And is it 10:30?
And
10:29, we'll welcome them in. 10:29, and we are welcoming in Carrie Ray. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us.
Can you just identify yourself and what program you're here with?
Absolutely. Carrie Ray, and I am the director for Nantucket Star.
Fabulous. Michelle, welcome.
Everyone, Michelle Soderberg from In the Herd, Cape Cod.
Awesome. Linda?
Laura.
Oh, Laura, thank you. Sorry, Laura. Sorry, Laura.
Hi, that's okay. Laura Gallagher Byrne from Nantucket Dreamland Foundation.
Fabulous. And I think we're just waiting.
Elise Norton.
Elise Norton and the Boys and Girls Club. I should have, did the Boys and Girls Club respond to you?
They did not respond back to me.
I think what we'll do is we'll start, and when she gets in, we'll have her join us. So what we'd like to do is, this is the first time we've
She's
done
waiting
this.
to be admitted.
It looks like she's waiting to be admitted, so we'll wait.
Michelle Feldman's pardon the butchering of the pronunciation, and
Elise
Michelle
Norton.
Feldman as well. Still no Elise.
Yeah, she said she's waiting to be admitted.
Who else did you say just came in?
We have, please apologize my pronunciation, Zlatina Petkova and Michelle Feldman as well.
Can we put their faces up so we can see them? Is there a way?
We'll see how.
You can get rid of us. We don't care.
Yeah. Should do everybody.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Hi, everybody.
Is Elise there?
Michelle, hi, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Michelle Feldman. I am the Donor Relations Manager with the Nantucket Dreamland.
Okay. Zelina, is that correct, or did I say it wrong?
Latina.
Okay, welcome, and can you identify yourself?
Of course, good morning, everyone. My name is Latina Petkova, and I'm the Executive Administrator at the Dreamland.
Fabulous. Jasmine?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jasmine. I'm the Director of Advancement at the Nantucket Boys and Girls Club.
Fabulous. Alicia?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Alicia Carney. I'm the Executive Director of the Nantucket Dreamland.
Fabulous. And right now, Elise is just having difficulty getting in. So we're going to start a little bit, and as Jericho's working to get Elise in. As I was just saying that this year's youth behavioral grant brought one thing that we've never done before, which is this sort of mandated collaboration in order to receive the grant. And one of the ways that we wanted to see how this worked was to begin to have meetings with the groups so that we got better feedback on how your collaborations were working, how your programs were working before you presented us with your quarterly reports. And we feel that that will give us a better understanding of your program. It will let each and every one of you have a better understanding of the programs that were within this youth behavioral grant. And sorry, our screen just did something funky, sorry. And so we welcome an open conversation, some presentation from you guys. We'll have feedback, and we would love to have some conversation going back and forth between everybody that's here within this group that have won this grant. So I will start looking at the way we're seeing the screen with Carrie Ray, because you're up at the top, and then go around, and then we'll open up for discussion.
Sounds great. Thank you. So thank you all again. This grant has been phenomenal for Nantucket Star. For anybody that isn't aware, Nantucket Star stands for Sports Therapeutic Accessible Recreation, and we are a small nonprofit that runs a variety of programs, adaptive recreation and sports programs for children with identified needs. And we have a lot of fun doing what we do. And this grant, which we are so grateful for, was written to support our Stars on Ice program, which is an adaptive ice skating program that we run in collaboration with the Nantucket Community Ice Rink. And they are absolutely phenomenal partners for us and the community. Our Stars on Ice program runs twice a year. We ran our first program using the grant in the fall, and we ran 6 one-hour sessions at the rink, and it was a blast. We had some new friends join us. We had participants who have been working with us for years. We had 14 participants for that program, 11 of whom had identified needs, and 3 peer participants, which peer participants are, you know, friends, just neurotypical students that come along and join the programs with us. That program was supported by 4 staff and 4 volunteers, and it was great. We had a wonderful time. Again, Nantucket Ice is such a wonderful and welcoming organization to work with. They go above and beyond to make our group feel welcome, make our families feel welcome, and just really make it a very seamless program for us. And we're really grateful for that. The second phase of our grant is our winter program, which we are now into, I believe, the 3rd day. We have a session happening this afternoon. And we had even more interest this round. It's the same format, 6 one-hour classes during the program. This session, we have 19 total participants, 15 with identified need, and 4 peer participants. And our staffing changes dependent on how many children we have, what sorts of needs we have. Some students require a one-on-one on the ice, sometimes 1 to 2 staff members. Other friends are happy zipping and skating around themselves. So this time around, we have some significant needs. So we have 6 staff members, 7 adult volunteers from within the schools and the greater community. And something we've also done this time is we've incorporated 2 high school hockey players from the girls hockey team to help us out. High school volunteers on the ice. And they're fantastic. And it's a wonderful welcoming peers and, you know, high school volunteers is a great way to support socially some of our older students, as well as fill a need for supporting our friends on the ice. So that program is ongoing and it's been wonderful. We're really enjoying it. So thank you all for helping make it possible.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for running it. Can you tell us who your collaborating partners is on this and how they're impacting you?
Yes, so we work really closely with the rink for this particular program. And, you know, Brian, Will, Joe at the rink are fantastic in terms of just really trying to squeeze us into that super, super busy space. You know, making sure that the ice is neat and looks good. They provide locker room space for us, help us get our materials set up. We have some friends who were really into playing around with the hockey sticks this round. So Will from the rink was fantastic in pulling some youth hockey sticks for us to borrow. They have a new employee, Maddie Belanger, who's working to fill Joe's position there. And she has been so enthusiastic in you know, learning how to work with us, and she does it so naturally, and they are really, really great partners. They make our staff feel welcome. They make our families feel welcome. We had one student on the first day who has some significant need and was having a bit of a hard time transitioning into the space, and the rink staff were so welcoming and wonderful, not just for her, but for her family as well, and making them feel comfortable. And they personalized a helmet for her for the ice just to make her feel special. You know, so the rink has been just very strong partners for us. And we're super, super grateful for them, because they could very easily just say, okay, you're renting the ice, come on in, do your thing. And they just really go above and beyond to work with us and make our program a success.
Okay, and can you tell me referrals? Do you get a lot of referrals from the school, from organizations?
Yeah, so mostly I would say referrals come through the schools. But as STAR has been working in this post-pandemic world to really work on our outreach within the community and make sure everybody knows who we are and what we do, we have started getting some references and referrals from social services at the hospital, people at Fairwinds. We've had friends from not just the public schools, but we've had friends from both Lighthouse and the new school join us as well, which is great. So I would say the majority of our referrals probably come through the schools, but it's been really nice, to see some other referrals coming in from, physicians' offices or therapists or things like that. So.
Great. Okay. Thank you. We're going to come back to you in a little bit. Michelle?
Thank you.
I don't know, Alicia, do
Oh,
you?
no, I'm going to go to, sorry, looking at my screen. I'm sorry, Michelle. I'm going to go to Michelle Soderberg for the horse.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Hi, everyone. Michelle Soderberg again from In the Herd Cape Cod. Thank you for having us, and thank you again for the grant to allow us to get this up and running and to work with the kids on Nantucket. We've had a great time so far. It definitely has been a little bit slow getting it rolling, but I feel as if the momentum is definitely there. We did over the winter vacation, we ran 3 workshops, leadership skills workshops, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The Wednesday we changed to Saturday because of the weather. We had 9 kids participate in total. 6 of those kids came back for the program that was going to run, the 3 consecutive weeks. 6 of those kids came back. 2 of them really wanted to come back, but they had other activities. One of them had, I believe, hockey, and the other one had, Irish dancing. The 3rd child had his finals for basketball, which I'm sure you guys all know about. Otherwise, he would have joined us as well. Those 2 kiddos that had the other activities, not basketball, they've signed up for the workshop that we just presented to the community for April. And they are already on the wait list for the Wednesday class for that. And the other young boy that was not able to attend the continuous program signed up for Monday. I feel like this is starting to get out both through word of mouth, through Fairwinds, through the Nantucket Research, Nantucket Family Resource Center. I have been in touch with Sherry Lewis Scholler from the schools, who kind of helped me reorganize how I was targeting the kids. Because originally my plan was to work with 3rd and 4th graders, and then 5th and 6th grade, and really keep the ages within 2 years. And she had suggested that we went by the school specifically. So along with the new flyer going out for April vacation, we also sent out a flyer for the next age group, being 6th grade through 6th grade to 8th grade. And I've received 8 phone calls and have talked directly to parents, guardians, or caregivers. And I've had multiple emails from people inquiring and asking about more information. And I've offered, to schedule a phone call conversation with them, because I feel as if there's so much detail involved in this that it's really best for me to be able to talk to them one-on-one. We have had, I feel so extremely blessed that this has gone as seamlessly as it has. The Highline has worked so well with us on pricing and on flexibility with the numbers that we're bringing on. We have 10 spots every Saturday held for us without any questions. The fact that, we've been able to decrease the number, it's just worked seamlessly. And as the boat's pulling in from Nantucket, the B bus is already there waiting for us. We all gather on the B bus together and go directly to the farm. The cost has been perfect, which allowed me, it's $3 per person on the B bus. and the cost, the decreased cost for the High Line allowed me to pick up a therapeutic mentor who used to work for Justice Resource Institute. So a piece that we changed in this was to have 2 parent chaperones come over, which we do still allow that, and they have been utilized. But I really felt responsible to go over the first couple of times and pick up the kids and really experience what it was going to be like for everybody. So in the morning, I got on the ferry and went over to Nantucket. We gave everybody lanyards with a welcome letter that they could make a name tag, had everybody meet us at the front of the line at the ferry so that we could, truly be together and going on the ferry as a group, making sure everybody was safe and accounted for. I decided to bring on a therapeutic mentor who worked for Justice Resource Institute, which stayed right within the budget because that was money that I had saved that I had already planned for transportation. So she joins me in grabbing the kids from over there and the 2 chaperones. Then we take the ferry back to Hyannis. And like I said, as we're pulling in, the B bus is either there or we see them pulling in. We very seamlessly get off of the ferry all together, hop on the B bus, go directly to the farm, and then spend the next 5 hours at the farm. The kids have enjoyed it. I can say that their pre-assessments and post-assessments that we've done with the leadership program showed a 63% increase on them utilizing their leadership skills on just a basic 7, simple 7 questions that we ask. I can read them off if you'd like me to. The first one's about
yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so the first one is about I use clear, effective communication, and it's a 1 through 5. All of the questions are a 1 through 5, never, rarely, sometimes, often, always. The second question being I have positive relationships with those around me. I'm confident as a leader. I see the effects of my behavior and attitude. I'm able to stay present and focused on the here and now. I clearly communicate my needs, asking for help, setting boundaries, and saying no. I am open and accepting to new information and feedback. So that's just a quick little pre-assessment, and the post-assessment is asking them to reflect on their day and how were they able to utilize those skills for that specific day. And again, out of it started with the pre-assessment, we had 2 answers that were a never, 3 answers that were rarely, 13 that were sometimes, 16 that were often, and we had 29 that were always. And those increased by 63% to the positive side, meaning that we had 0 answer that they never used those skills during our program. Only 1 for 2, which was a decrease of 2. We decreased 7 on the sometimes, decreased 7 on the often, and increased by utilizing those skills always by 18, which was a 63% increase overall of utilizing those skills for the day. So incorporating the experiential learning seems to be quite effective for this group of kids that we worked with. And again, we had the first day we had 3 kids, the second day we had 4 kids, the following day we had 2 kids. And again, with parent chaperones that were there. So the change that we did do was for the program that runs 3 weeks in a row, we had 6 kids, as I mentioned, the therapeutic mentor there, as well as our RN who's always there for every session that we run. A male facilitator, myself, and we had my 17-year-old daughter and my 13-year-old daughter also participate. My 17-year-old daughter is not a horse girl at all, but she's, they're both certified for first aid and for CPR, and they're obviously being from a large family of 5, they work really well with the kids. So it was nice just to have the extra kids kind of able to supervise, help get boots on, because almost everybody who came here needed jackets and boots, which we have available. A couple of them took them home with them because I guess they needed them. Help us organize lunch and breakfast. The kids were so excited to have Dunkin' Donuts. It was really, it was really quite amazing to hear the kids on the bus on the way to the farm say, "Oh my gosh, there's a Dunkin' Donuts. I haven't seen one of those in years." They all chose Domino's pizza, which is not my favorite, but that's what they wanted, and absolutely ecstatic when they came back the next week. They were like, "Are we going to have Domino's pizza again?" All of these extremely novel events for them, along with working with the horses. And, we have one more week to complete this program this Saturday. And the ease and the growth that I've seen just in the 3 weeks that I've worked with these kids, because these kids all came to those one-day leadership workshops, just absolutely amazing. They're independently able to walk their horses. We worked on utilizing energy to really be able to move the horses without having to pull them or tug them or use voice commands. We do it all nonverbal, so they're learning about the nonverbal communication and how to increase our energy and decrease it, and how that affects others. So I am just absolutely honored to be able to work with these kids, and just so grateful that you guys have given us the opportunity to be able to run a program like this, for the kids on the island. A couple of the parent chaperones have chosen not to come, which has given other chaperones the ability to pop in. And I'm so proud of the kids. Like, that's a big trip, to get on the ferry, to get on the bus, to come with us. And they're excited, they've been excited, and they were willing to, to leave mom and dad and wave and smile and go. It's really, it's been a beautiful experience. So I'm excited to see this progress. And it sounds as if, according to my phone calls and conversations, along with the emails, that this will really get rolling and we'll be filling up the sessions quickly.
Fabulous. Okay, we're gonna come back. If everybody's okay with that, I'm gonna come back. Laura Gallagher.
So I'm going to start by reaching out to our colleagues, and our executive director wanted to give the first overview, and then I will follow up beyond that.
Sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Laura, thank you. I'll turn it right back over to you. I just wanted to give an overview and just thank you all for having us this morning and for investing in this important community program. Theater Speaks is a youth and community focused series that's designed to involve students in conversation around social and emotional issues through authentic, engaging, and transformative programming. I'm happy to report that we are scheduling programming beginning in April that impacts middle school students, high school students, and we're looking into theater for young audiences and theater for the very young. Theater Speaks supports our island youth and offers support for families and community members with a framework to address the most pressing issues facing our community. And we're enlisting the support of Addiction Solutions, Fair Winds, and other organizations as appropriate. I would like to turn it over to Laura now to give you a little bit more detail. Laura is our Director of Theater Education at the Dreamland. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Alicia. So as Alicia mentioned, we are starting off this spring right out of the gate. And Dorothy, when I saw you at the High School Musical, I know I gave you a little bit of a taste of what we are already doing. So we are starting off with Jordan Toma, who is going to be presenting to the middle school on April 23rd. So if you're not familiar with his work, his sweet spot is middle school. And we have found that that is the age where children
11, 10.
We should be down. John, you got to mute.
I got him.
Okay, thank you.
You're good. Sorry about that.
Sorry about.
I'm hoping I don't have to mute, but if my dog starts barking, I may have to do that and turn it over to somebody else like Michelle. So we're very excited about Jordan. I have admired his work, and we feel that middle school is where we start to see that eruption of vaping and bullying, and there's a lot that starts to happen in that age, particularly in that transition into 6th grade and then beyond. So we're very excited about that. We got very much buy-in from the principals, which is always a great thing. So we will be bringing Jordan on April 23rd. Then on May 2nd, we're bringing in former NBA basketball player Chris Herron. And Michelle, if you want to just maybe weigh in a little bit on what he has done and his impact upon the high school age student.
Sure. So he has presented in the past at Nantucket High School, and it's been some time. But he presents an anti-drug and addiction awareness assembly. He will present in the afternoon for the high school students, and he's going to discuss substance abuse, peer pressure, mental health. And in the evening, there's going to be a community performance, a community assembly. And after speaking with Mandy at the high school, that is actually going to be used as a mandatory parent attendance assembly. So there's a new stipulation: if your student is going to be attending ball or prom, a parent or guardian has to attend mandatory parent assembly, and this is going to be the one that they're mandated to attend. And it's a completely separate session, different discussion, sort of different topic, or different approach at the topic, but we're really excited to have him come back and speak.
Yeah, that is a wonderful piece of this. And again, we are also grateful for this grant, because this is programming we have long wanted to do. And this was born out of a conversation I had, because as I've mentioned, I am on school committee, about how students were vaping and vandalizing, and there were all these things, and we did not want it to be a one and done. You know, there's one speaker and then that's it. And so this continuation of addressing these issues is something that's so valuable, and without this grant, we would not have been able to do it. So again, we are so grateful. And then following that, on May 16th through 18th, we're bringing in an addiction performance project. And this is something that one of our colleagues, Josh Gray, had witnessed at the Nantucket project. And it's the Addiction Performance Project, where they use classic works to address all of these issues. And there is there's quite a bit that goes into it. There is a Q&A afterward. But one of the really compelling pieces of this is they bring in performers who are very well known: Blythe Danner, Catherine Erbe, Diane Wiest, and then people that young people know that I don't know. But there are a lot of performers that will be part of this. So we know that we will get buy-in because of that. In addition, they also have a Greek chorus, and that is comprised of community members and teens. So that's something that we'll be able to work on. They'll rehearse with these performers and then perform with them over and in a very structured way. So there's that interaction. So that's really exciting as well. And then something that is very near and dear to my heart that is in development right now is the theater for young audiences and theater for the very young, because we know that the earlier a child is exposed to theater, the greater their sense of hope. There have been so many studies around this. So that is something that we are in the midst of creating and building, and that will involve bringing in teens as performers, teens and potentially some older performers as well. And then we will bring that as a touring company to different spaces on the island: Small Friends, Nantucket Lighthouse School, Nantucket New School, as well as do performances on our stage. We had hoped to bring that in the spring. It's a very crowded calendar at the schools, and so we were asked to kind of shift that, which is fine in that it gives us a little more time and thoughtfulness in terms of what we will choose, because while we want it to be social and emotional addressing those issues, we also want it to be really entertaining and something that the kids will enjoy and buy into. So again, this is all programming we would never have been able to do without this funding. So we are very grateful.
Fabulous. Jasmine. Jasmine represents the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, I'm from the Nantucket Boys and Girls Club. Hi, everybody. So the reason that we applied for this grant initially was because post-COVID, the club really focused on bridging the education gap that resulted from COVID. But in the past year or so, we see the kids 6 days a week year round, and we've noticed a gap in social and mental health. And so the programs that the grant supports are directly related to establishing healthy habits among the kids, focusing on inclusion, and working to develop some social skills among the kids. So right now, if you don't know anything about the club, but in 2023, we served over 1,300 kids from over 1,100 households. So we have the kids in the building. We have 350 to 400 kids here on a daily basis. So the problem is not getting the kids in the door, it's getting them involved in healthy programs that benefit them developmentally, because I know a lot of you deal with kids on a daily basis and they really just want to play, hang out, go on their iPad, stay on their phones, which is good some of the time. But when they're at the club, we really want them to do things that they can't do outside of the club. And so what this grant has really allowed us to do is to focus on those programs that develop those skills, as well as be very nimble and pivot when we have to. So this year, we're really focused on data collecting. Our major marker is attendance and repeat attendance. So one program, for example, that this grant supports is our Junior Chefs Club. And we want to really expand that program, because that was originally 2 days a week for kids 3rd through 5th, 6th grade. And signups are always, I work primarily in events, so I always say sold out, but the signups, there's always a wait list for that particular program. And so what this grant allowed us to do was to offer a Friday night program for older kids, so for the teen members, and that encourages the teens, as someone mentioned before, once they hit middle school, it's really a tender age for them in terms of their development. So it encourages them to stay involved with the club and be in a big group together doing something positive. And we also hit late middle school, early high school kids, which we always struggle to do anyway. It also allows us to, I know local collaborations are key to any program success. What we want to do in the future for the rest of this year is to reach out to Nantucket restaurants and have the chef come and teach the kids how to cook. We've had great experience with that in the past. We have great relationships with restaurants, so kind of on our short list is Lemon Press, Crew, Nautilus. If you guys know any restaurants who might be interested in that, contact me. That would be awesome. Other programs that we have seen great successes is Rainbow Club, Torch Club, leadership programs, healthy habits. And the grant allows us to provide incentives to the kids to join, to kind of give them that push, because what the club really does well are athletics. And we're only open 4 hours a day from 2:30 to 6. So programs run simultaneously with athletics. And so it encourages the kids to participate and keep attending. So we've seen lots of repeat attendance. We've seen having to add extra days of programming to meet the demand. And we've also been able to hire part-time staff that are directly responsible for programs. One example is our Spanish club that targets ESL learners. And we have 2 amazing high school, they are juniors, so they'll be around next year to run this program. Jasmine and Desiree, they run our Spanish club. And so that incorporates kids that English is not their first language, but we've also seen kids where English is their first language, and they come together and they, just talk about where they're from. It is called Spanish Club, but it's more of a culture club at this point. They talk about where they're from. They talk about the foods they like to eat. They talk about what different words mean in different languages. And it's been really amazing to watch. So we're really thankful that with this grant programming, we have over 40 programs at the club annually, but it's given us the ability to have more freedom, to hire more staff, and to just be able to pivot and be really nimble when we see numbers that we like to see. And then, sometimes programs aren't always successful. So to be able to figure out ways to improve and incentivize or perhaps, cut the program, which thankfully we haven't had to do yet this school year.
Okay, fabulous. I'm just gonna ask a real quick question, Jasmine, how many, when you talk about the Spanish and the chef program, the junior chef program, how many students are enrolled in this program?
So right now, Spanish club is a little low. I have 32. So the way the club tracks, 32 is low compared to last year where we had over 100. We are Boys and Girls Club, so we report to National BGCA. So we track what's called unduplicated attendance, meaning that the program runs 2 to 3 times a week, but once the kid comes to a program, even one day, it tracks that number. And what we are also focusing on this year is duplicated attendance. So a kid does the program, but how many times? So these numbers will be unduplicated, meaning they could come once or they could come 20 times in a year. It just depends on the kid. So Spanish club right now, 32. And then junior chefs, 67 total, with 12 of those being teenagers, 13 and up, which is great. That number was 0 last year. And then just other programs that I quickly wrote down before the meeting started. Healthy Habits, 42, and Rainbow Club, which is now over until next year, 31. But our staff is doing a great job. We have a giant Google Drive with all our programs of tracking the attendance, which is really helpful for meetings like this and for reporting to National Boys and Girls Club and for, applying for more grants in the future.
Fabulous, good. Fabulous. The numbers are good, Jasmine. Okay, I'm gonna go on to Elise.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
Wow.
So I'm with Alliance for Substance Abuse Prevention, and we received
Let
this
them know.
grant
All right.
for 2 separate collaborations. The first of the 2 collaborations was with the MAST Healing Center. And in that collaboration with MAST, we
I have to leave.
just finished up. Oh, bye, John. We just finished up our first 8-week session with them, where teens were invited to register for the program, for the 8-week program, and join us once a week on Sunday to take classes in breath work, meditation, and sound work, all various healing exercises. And the goal being that a lot of these kids are, struggling with stress at school, stress at home, maybe some trauma, whatever it is. And this is an opportunity for them to come and learn some skills that they can use in their life to help them cope day to day with, various things that they are dealing with. This program was very successful. The students loved it. We were fully enrolled. They were coming every week and participating. We did do a pre and post assessment, which I'm looking forward to getting to review myself, which I haven't yet, but I look forward to reviewing to kind of see the progress. But from what I hear from the instructors, it was very transformative for all of the students. Sorry. So that was a huge success. Like I said, we just finished our first 8-week session, and then we're discussing starting a second 8-week session maybe in April. So because it was so popular with the students, we want to offer it again for them. So we're excited about that.
How many kids were in that program?
There were about 15 kids per program, so we had about 45 kids participating in that program.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really awesome. So the second collaboration was with the Nantucket Disc Golf Club, Nantucket Disc Golf Club. And the idea with that was to teach youth in the community the sport of disc golf and give them the opportunity to spend time outside, recreate, and get exercise and participate in, healthy activities. We have struggled with that program thus far to get enrollment. We offered 2 different sessions and we didn't have anyone sign up. It was a tough sell in December and January, I have to say, because it's winter weather and I don't think a lot of people picture themselves outside playing disc golf during the winter months. But Mike Harder from the Nantucket Disc Golf and I were, we really tried. We did all the advertising we could. We, put it on the radio and the Current and, on social media and at the schools. But what we decided to do in the end was to collaborate with the Boys and Girls Club. So we have set up a collaboration with the Boys and Girls Club. And later this month, we will be starting a 7-week program in collaboration with the Boys and Girls Club. And so what they will do is they will handle program enrollment. They'll get the kids signed up. They will transport the kids to the disc golf course. And the program will be Wednesday afternoons for an hour and then 2 Saturdays a month for an hour, all of it culminating in a tournament, which will be a family and friends event. So, the kids will participate in the tournament, the participants and their families and friends will be invited to spectate and support them. So we're really excited about that collaboration. So now we have an additional collaboration on that particular program, which is really exciting because the Boys and Girls Club has been really supportive.
So I'm going to just say, Elise, Fabi, I love the way that you looked at a program, saw a problem and found a solution. Really well done. Thank you. So everybody, when we go forward, I have questions and I'd like to, I'll start it off with these questions to everybody. And then just put your hand up to answer. Is there something that you learned about today that's valuable to the program that you're doing that you had no idea was out there? Anybody? Carrie.
Oh, we got Laura.
Hi. I loved hearing from everybody what everyone's doing. With STAR, we run a wide variety of programs for a group with a really, really wide age range and with a lot of different needs and abilities. And I loved hearing from everyone, and not just for STAR, but for myself as a community member and a parent. So good job to everyone, because it's wonderful to hear all these amazing things happening. I loved hearing about In the Herd, Michelle, and everything that you're doing. It already has my gears turning about some of our friends that might really enjoy participating. So I really enjoyed hearing what you were saying and learning more. And same with the Dreamland and the Boys and Girls Club. STAR does a cooking program. So for our older kids, so my gears are kind of turning as well about, how could we maybe get these friends to work together in the kitchen and, collaborate. This has been a great meeting and I loved hearing from everyone. So thank you for putting it together.
Okay, great. Laura.
Yeah, I would echo that. And just hearing Elise, who Elise and I have worked together. She's been super mom backstage and helping with costumes and things, but I had no idea of the breadth of that organization and the work that you're doing. And I think there are ways that that we are very compatible as, 2 organizations. So that is really exciting to hear. And the work with MAST, I think is a fairly new organization. So that also is very intriguing for me. And obviously the Boys and Girls Club, I always think there are so many partnership opportunities that we work on as well. So yeah, and I loved hearing about the horseback riding, and that is really an exciting program and the name of it. So yeah, to echo what Carrie is saying, I feel like there are so many ways of collaboration, and this forum, getting all of this information about each other is a wonderful opportunity to learn more.
So I might put out there that it would be beneficial for all of us, to all of you that are within this youth behavioral grant, that programs that you're offering and or community events come out, maybe be sent, and we send them out to everybody. They get brought in and they can be put out on a schedule so that everybody might have an idea of what's out there and what's available, because I think it's key. I know, and Michelle, I'll get you in 1 second. When Michelle mentioned that she had a community program, you know, what is that community program? Is that just, you said it, had a community program where you spoke with everybody. What was that? And on the programs that are being put forward at the school through the Dreamland, I think it's wonderful, but some of that might be great to each person that's participating in all these events to get out to them, or to even let parents or children know these things are going on in the community. And that's what our goal is, to get all of you are making such a difference with, you know, different demographics within our community. And that kind of seed program that you're working on and that you're developing is what's going to change this community in the future, right? And so we really want to encourage this kind of communication and collaboration with all of you that are affecting different, you know, demographics, completely different demographics. So I see Michelle, I'm going to take yours, and then Elise, I'll go to you, and then I'll open up for board members. Okay, great. Michelle?
I really would just like to ditto what everybody has said, the opportunity to be able to collaborate and to realize that I can collaborate and reach out to, you know, everybody on here. You guys all have the same goals that we have here in the herd, you know, working on those social emotional skills, you know, I didn't realize that you guys had the breath and the sound therapy going on, which is what we were working on as well with the horses, a lot of breath work and a lot of, you know, being with, you know, with self and being present. So I'm really excited to hear how I have the opportunity, or we have the opportunity here to be able to collaborate with all of you. Super exciting and brings me a lot of hope to be able to get this rolling. Thank you.
Okay. Elise?
I just wanted to say, Dorothy, that I really appreciate that, because I would love to know like more about upcoming dates for programming that's happening, so that we can be referring students and youth participants to, you know, what Michelle has going on in the future in the herd. And also I see there lots of opportunity to potentially, as Alliance for Substance Abuse Prevention, collaborate with the Dreamland on some of these upcoming speakers that they have, that they're presenting at the high school, so, and the middle school. So I would love to have more information so that I could talk more with people about what they have going on, and vice versa, so that I can announce when I have my next program at MAST happening, so people can get signed up for that. So thank you so much for bringing us all together.
Mm-hmm.
Laura, your hand is your hand still up and it just didn't go down, or did you have something else?
No, this is a new hand raise.
Okay.
I love the idea of the connection of all of us, because it sort of establishes us as like a collaborative, which is
Correct.
really an exciting process. So I'm so glad that you brought that up, Dorothy. So thank you.
Yeah, that is our hope. And our hope with this was that eventually what you would be able to do by collaborating together, we know that there's a lot more funding available, not only, you know, not here, but necessarily, but state and federal funding when programs like this collaborate and prove it. And that's why that was our hope as the seed of this, so that we could foster something that could be so beneficial to the youth. So I'm going to go to everybody, since I've been speaking a lot, that's on here, and let them sort of say what they have to say. So I'm going to start with Bert. I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, with the STAR program, I was disappointed that you didn't thank Tuka, the Burma doodle that's always in the window.
We love Tuka. He is the best greeter ever. He's so sweet.
When
The kids love him.
When visiting team come and he's not in the window, they ask about him. It's like they want to see him every time they come to play.
He's the greeter. He's the first face you see. He's the best. My apologies.
I'm glad you're treating you well over there at the rink.
Okay. Sue.
I just want to thank everybody. It sounds like the work is really starting to get going. Super excited to hear about Chris Herron coming. I had tried to bring him a few years back, but I think it was like the people felt like he'd just been there and the faculty remembered, and I don't know, they were just like, well, so I think he's fantastic. So I'm excited to hear that he's back, and I hope that you can collaborate with Elise and the Alliance for Substance Abuse to really get the word out, because I am super excited that he's going to be doing a public forum. You can reserve a seat for me in the front row. And yeah, I'm excited to hear that In the Herd is starting to take off. I know I've been referring people to the FRC to get kids signed up, so I'm super excited that it's starting to kind of get its feet under it. It takes a while, I know, to get a new project going. So I appreciate all of your work, and I love that you're getting inspired hearing what each other are doing. That was really the goal. Thank you.
You're welcome. Linda.
Thanks for your presentations. I'm glad to see all these things working out well and that there's great participation. As you know, I was kind of concerned about the travel issues with the horse and trying to get in some venue here to do it here. Have you gotten any further with doing it here?
Hi, Linda. Thanks for asking that question. I have actually talked to a couple of people who've said that they'd like to reach out to some friends that have horses that they bring back in the summer, in the springtime. You know, I absolutely welcome that, and I feel that that it would be great to be able to run programs there on the island for kids who might be more hesitant to go on the ferry, who might be more hesitant to have that travel. I do think that it would be a fantastic idea. I also, though, have to say that now that I've been participating with the kids, going over and picking them up in a group, there's a lot of excitement and there's a lot of learning that happens with all of them traveling together and going from, you know, the front of the line at the ferry and all of us getting on the boat. We have a therapeutic dog that comes with us as well, being able to pat the dog, like the pictures and the communication that the kids have, like they're excited to get off the island. You know, so the learning that they're getting from that and navigating us all traveling as a group and getting onto the B bus and the sightseeing to get to our facility. There's something to be said about the type of learning that's happening there as well. In the opportunity for some of these kids who have told me, a couple of them have told me that they haven't been off the island in a couple of years. So if there was a way in the future to be able to work out both scenarios where we could come over and facilitate, obviously, you know, there's another component to that as well, learning the horses that I would be working with out there, implementing the program on Nantucket absolutely can be done, and I would be open to that. But I also am really enjoying the fact that these kids are learning a lot, getting off the island through the way we have it set up. And it's worked out so smoothly that none of these kids have been hesitant. I mean, they've even been willing to say goodbye to their parents and walk away with big smiles on their face. So I think that the need maybe for both of them to run, maybe one established on the island, but also to continue this off the island is there. And now it's just a matter of getting out to more, you know, having more people learn about us and what we do. But giving the opportunity to pick from either or, I think would be fantastic. But moving on with finding somebody who's willing to do that in a facility there on Nantucket, the people that I have spoken to, it said that they're, you know, they're going to talk to this person or that person. But I've also kind of gotten the feeling that the people who do bring their horses back there in the summertime if they're private places where they don't necessarily want a group of kids coming out there. And I don't know, we'd have to definitely look further into it, but I haven't had a welcome, warm, fuzzy feeling about people being like, yeah, absolutely bring 8 to 10 kids to my property to work with my horses. You know, some of the horses from what I'm gathering are much higher end horses, you know, where we work with rescue horses that we've brought back for a number of years and that have a skill set and live in a herd environment so that their instincts are very natural so that we can learn the bits and pieces of communication that they present. So again, I think that there's a possibility of it, but we'd have to definitely research into it and look further about insurances, liabilities, always something that you have to think about. And who would be willing to allow us to do that on their property.
I'll give you a scenario. My son has severe anxiety disorder, will not get on that boat. He checks the wave heights, the buoy heights, won't get on a plane. He's been on a plane once in 14 years. There was a program when he was younger where they went out to Billy Cassidy's because they had a ring, they had a barn. You got to pet the horses, you get to brush the horses. Their horses were a little bit more okay with kids like that on them and around them. You might want to talk to Billy Cassidy. He does have the facility, but there are kids like that here that will not get on that boat. And I just didn't want those kids to be left out, because it doesn't matter if you have 10 dogs and 20 parents won't get on that boat. He quit playing basketball because I couldn't travel with him all the time playing basketball. So there are kids like that here that have that kind of anxiety about the boat or the plane, that would benefit from this, because he absolutely adored that program and then they stopped the program. So just sort of keep that in mind, that there are kids that are left here that will not do that boat.
So Linda, please feel free to send any information or anybody that you can think of that would like to, because when I first found out about this grant, it wasn't that I was looking to do programs here at my facility. I was looking to do programs out there on the island and found out that there wasn't a public place. And I said, well, we can solve that. Let me see what I can come up with and how I could work this out. We do have family that live on an island up in Maine. If I could do it for them up there, I would, because I know the benefits of it. And I do know what island life is like. And I do know what that anxiety is all about, and how kids can feel really trapped at being there on the island. It wasn't their choice. They're there because, that's where their family is. So, for me to be able to come out there and to facilitate something like this would be an absolute honor. I would love to do it. So please, any information of anybody that that would love to collaborate with me and work with me, I am all for it. So please feel free to send that to me. You can give me a phone call or send it by email, whatever you'd like. But I certainly would love to work with you on something, being able to set something like that up there for the kids that, are hesitant to get off the island.
I'll check with him and see if anything he's got up his sleeve.
Michelle, I've also got a candidate that reached out about potentially participating. I'll connect you with.
Veronica, thank you. I'm just sitting here vibrating because a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, we started thinking about what can we do as the CRC and Human Services in reaching the vulnerable youth population. And we talked about collaboration, we talked about different kinds of programming, and all of you have answered that almost a wish that we had. And what I really find exciting is, as everything here is new, this is new programming, that as you've gotten into it, when you've maybe said, well, we're going to do this, but you realize, well, maybe that didn't necessarily work. So you've adapted, and it's just, and reaching out to others and collaborating. And of course, I know with new programming, some of you may not have an issue with getting participation, but it takes time. And if we can help in some way in getting the word out, we'd like to maybe have more conversation about that, because advertising and just letting people know that not every program, but almost any child or any youth that we have on there is appropriate for all of these programs. So not just saying, oh, well, my child doesn't have a special need, or my child is not interested in animals but I think anybody can participate in any of these programs. And myself, as you know, many years ago, I was in this age, but I would like to participate in all of these programs because I think they're exciting. So thank you.
Yeah, and I think that this first presentation has, I think, given us a lot to go forward with. It has proven to us that the ideas that we put together as a group sitting at the same exact table had some really significant meaning to the community. And that you all came forward and took what we were hoping for and have run with it. And I can't tell you how exciting it is. Even if you think that you only have, 11 kids or 13 or 60 or 14, that's 14 hits 28 and it just keeps multiplying. Every time you touch one, you touch 100. Isn't that what they say? So, and I'm really excited that the programs are being accepted in the school, which has been, one of the stumbling blocks that everybody's had. And so we're really excited to see that the school is actually working on getting these programs in there. And in the enthusiasm that you all show in providing these services to everybody, each and every one of you. And, especially when you said adapting, I mean, Michelle, you looked at the fact that traveling and how would that experience be for a child? You got on the boat to figure out what the experience would be like with the child. That changes that whole experience for that child, 100%. Not only are you experiencing it, but they know that you come there to tell them they're going to be okay. And I think that that's, one of the key things is when we as adults can show to a child they're going to be okay as they follow through the steps of what they're heading into. And I think each and every one of you does that through the programs. I've, watched Laura's programs down at the Dreamland for years, and when she was at the school, and the openness and love that comes out on that stage to those students. If this program can help encourage that, it's amazing. And the Boys and Girls Club, look at what, they've touched thousands. They're probably touched more people than any other organization on the island, including the schools. They have had a bigger impact on anybody in this community is the Boys and Girls Club. And, Carrie, with the STAR program, there's, what can I say? There's what you've been able to do for a demographic of our community that doesn't necessarily get to participate in all these things is amazing. And Elise has picked up on, as we all know, something I'm very passionate about. So I believe that all of you together are going to make a huge difference in our community. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes and where you go forward with it. So thank you all so very much. We look forward to getting your calendars in. And I'm going to give you my email address too. I'd like it forwarded to me as well. And my email address is hoss.75@live.com.
And I will check that in chat for you guys to copy and paste as well.
Thank you. And
HOSS.75, right?
Yep, .75@live.com. And Michelle, while I have you on, I would love to come over on March 30th to see your program. Are you running it? That would be 2 Saturdays from now.
Easter weekend.
Oh, no, I'm not coming Easter weekend.
That actually is it fell perfectly that was the off weekend.
Okay.
Because we do 3 weeks on and then 1 week off. In that off weekend is actually in case of weather, because we want to make sure that the kids always get their 3 weeks in. So that's why we kind of incorporated that. But I mean, you are certainly more than welcome to come over.
How about this second weekend in April?
The second weekend in April sounds great. Do you want to just reach out to me? Because I do have to register everybody for the B bus. We have to have their names and ages. So
yes, fabulous. I will.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else have? Okay, everybody, we thank you very much. Thank you for the time that you've put in. Any feedback that you want to send in that email too would be great. I would love to hear it. And we really appreciate all that you're all doing a great deal. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll see you later.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. What a great meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That was really interesting.
All right, we have, okay, so we're down to 5.
We're down
on
to 5.
Other business.
No, we have no other business. We discussed
I have other business I would like to mention, if that's
We're
okay.
not allowed to mention it because it's not on the agenda.
Well, then I could bring us back to the agenda item that
No,
was removed earlier, which
It
is,
actually, because it's been taken off the agenda and we are not
it just
discussing.
seems silly to have.
It is
two
still,
different
just a minute, under the
Right.
open meeting law,
Excuse
it's
me.
still on the posted agenda. We just skipped it
Excuse
and
me, it is
did not
not.
discuss it.
I'm gonna discuss this. It's been taken off the agenda. We did not send a letter. I asked this morning in compliance. I was told it was to be taken off. We are not to discuss it.
That's
I'm going,
why I was mentioning it under other business.
and I was told not to under other business either. It should have been.
That's not actually
posted on the-
correct.
Excuse me, I spoke with the compliance officer this morning. Okay, I spoke with the compliance officer this morning. I have been told that it cannot be discussed today. And it will not be discussed today. That's the reason it was taken off the agenda. Okay? Because we didn't, it should have been posted on the agenda exactly what it was. We are not discussing the letter. The letter never went out.
We discussed the letter before it went out.
But the letter never went out. It says discussion. I'm not going to go into this. I am going to say that I talked with the compliance officer. We are not pursuing it.
Will we be allowing?
I'm making a point of order, which you have to take. It is on the agenda, posted on the town website. So if
Okay,
one of us wants
and
to
I
make a
struck it
comment
from-
why it's not being discussed, that is allowed.
We struck it from the agenda. I struck it at the beginning, off the agenda. I've been told by the compliance officer that we will not discuss it today. And that's
I'm
it.
sure that's factually correct.
Well, factually, it is. If I sat and did the discussion with the compliance officer this morning, we are not, the discussion is not going to be on today's agenda.
And it was Maureen?
Huh?
It was Maureen that you discussed this with?
I did.
Okay. I'm unaware of that, so I need to learn that. Right.
Okay. So, sorry, guys. That is.
If that was the case, however, Madam Chair, then the people that I assume that are in the room, maybe, I can't see them from here because the owl doesn't go there. Those people should have been notified that it was not going to be discussed today.
I actually did notify at the beginning of the meeting. I said there will be no discussion in regards to fair winds today at this meeting. Everybody can go back and take a look at the Zoom.
I'm not saying that, Dorothy, but they should have been told before the meeting.
They were.
I didn't find out until just before I came into the meeting. Okay? And to make it very clear, I'm actually, Linda, I'm not going to go over logistics with you. I'm going to say that we're not having it. And I am going to ask for an adjournment.
What did you ask for, Dorothy?
An adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Bert,
Aye.
Veronica,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Dorothy, aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.